Morning, everybody. Today, if you've ever wondered how a windmill, the wheel of the windmill is made, we got to build one today. I think I told you that they're composed of six, at least an Aermotor is composed of 6 sections that are 3 blades each. So it's 18 blades altogether. So if you've ever wondered how these things are made, how we assemble it, stay tuned, watch, and learn. So what I got here is I laid out all of the sails that I talked about this morning, and all these sail ties. What's gonna happen is you'll see how this fits in there like that. Or is it like that? It's one of these ways. I'll get it right here in a minute. I think it's that way right there. Yep, that's the way. So what happens is this thing gets slid on, just like so. And I always do it wrong the first one. I don't know why, but you can kind of see how that little thing's going to guide it down there. And I just kind of pull it down by hand as far as I can, and be careful because this is sharp. And you just pull it down, 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 so you can't pull it no more. Now I got a little bitty hammer that I use that I kind of work it down with. And what happens, you'll see there's little burrs from the stamping process. You could go in here with a file and clean those up. Sometimes I do. It just seems to waste time because you can still get it together this way. It goes together just fine. Just work this up. Once it's down there like that, almost there, and then see how that's gonna go down inside there just like that. Okay, and we'll assemble all of these, and then those rings, these rings right here, will slide through here. So this needs a little bit more fit. It's got to go down a little further. I used to come in here with a die grinder and a little cutoff wheel and sometimes dress these up a little bit. But again, like I said, it'll still assemble just like this. It's tight, but it'll go together. And kind of it seems like the tighter it is, actually the quieter the windmill is. It's, you know, if you get it really loose where everything fits together really easy, you get some noise up there, some, you know, metal parts clanging around, and maybe that's by design. I don't know, because it'll just go right through there. It'll work fine. So there's one. I'll just go through here and do every one of them, just like so. So it's gonna go just like that. So I flip it this way. You'll see there are burrs right here because this is just a die stamp. So there is a burr on the back side, and you could go in here and clean all this up, but at the end of the day it's still going to assemble just fine. So is it worth it? I don't know. I don't think it is, but like I said, I used to do that to every one of them. I'd spend an hour out here deburring everything, but I'm not sure it was necessary. Sorry, the phone always rings right in the middle of doing something. So here we go. Just get them going. Now I'm not going to say that you never have to do any work on these, because I will if I have to. I've got an anvil right over here beside me if I need to kind of do any small fine tuning. But that's what you do. You just kind of get it stuck on there and you start sliding. Go down, sliding on it. But do be careful because it is sharp. right into place. Beautiful. All right, there's 2 of them. See, that'll just clip in there. I rotate these back around where they go. There's number 2. All right, just like the last one, start on the 3rd one. This normally takes me, I don't know, an hour or so to build all of them. It depends how many phone calls I get. So I did notice on the last 2 that I was building that as they stamped it, there is pretty good little chunk that gets kicked up right here on this side, and it's making it where it doesn't quite want to go down as good as it needs to. So I have 2 files here. One's a pretty aggressive one, and this one's a really fine cut, but it does a really good job. So I'll use it. Go in there and knock that thing down. Just to where you think it's going to clear. Perfect. Yep. And I think if you were careful, you could get a grinder, a little angle grinder in here, and kind of dust some of that off. So there we go. Yep. So it should slide right past that. A little file on it. You see, I'm keeping the file off of the face of the sail. I don't want to scratch this all up. It's too nice, and so I'm just keeping the angle, as you can see, something like that. You probably can't see because of my little fat hand in there, but so start up here on the smaller end. I just cradle it on around my belt. Get in there, you rascal. Once you get it started, it goes really easy. Here we go. Come on, get. Man, these are tight. Yeah. Okay, got it that far. There it is. Voila. Tap this in down. Again, this is it seems to be too tight of a fit, but it's not, because it's so tight, but yet it's perfect at the same time. Because if it was, like I said, if it was loose, it would have some play like this, and you don't want that. It'd be rattling. It would be horrible. So this is perfect. It's so tight that it's almost feels like it's too tight when you're assembling it, but it's not. It's perfect. So, all right, so there's one section. We'll get all the rest of these built up. I do everything on the back of my truck, as you can tell. It's a I don't own a show truck. I own a work truck. Everything I have is to be worked on. I don't have any use for anything that's pretty and can't be worked on. Get those all cleaned up. All right. Next one going on. Slippery. There's oil in these things from the stamping process. All kind of hold it back here on the back like this to support it. Come here and tap, tap, tap. There it is. Voila. See that? Perfect. This is a Dodge Ram, by the way. It's pretty tough. I'm not gonna hurt it by being back here hammering on it. If you're thinking, Shane, you're hitting that with a file, and you're gonna make all the galvanizing come off. So these ends are not galvanized. It's a sheet of galvanized plate, and it's stamped. So when you stamp it, there's no galvanizing on the ends. So as long as I stay right there on that very edge, I'm keeping the original integrity of the blade. Okay, here's that one. It just goes. It just does it. Brilliant. Voila. A little bit of a rolled edge there. I'm a machinist by trade, and then about 1995, I would say I built this little. This is my first shop project that I ever made. Man, this thing's worked on a lot of windmills in its day. Possibly an antique now. I don't know. Get started there, Philip. There it is. Check it out. It's not too terrible. Let's assemble it. Yeah. Another one. Like that. I try to build all these on here at the house in kind of a more of a controlled atmosphere. You know, I built them in the field, but that wasn't as fun because you're either fighting the wind or you got tall grass, or you know, there's all kinds of variables that could affect building one out in the field. If you're completely set up for it and that's all you do, that's fine. That'd be the way to do it. But I like to assemble them here at the house, and so I can use every tool that I have here at the house to, if something needs tweaked or something, I got everything I need right here at the house to fix it and get it back the way it needs to go. So that's what I like to do, and I like to haul the whole thing assembled. Kind of looks cool, it doesn't go on the road. Get a lot of looks. People trying to figure out what you're hauling. The DOT guy don't care to like it too much. Nah, they've never had a problem with it yet. Yep, still got that one little chunk right there that I keep having to knock down. And you'll see, earlier I called these a stiffener. It's called a cell rib, cell tie. I've heard it called 1,000 different names. Cell tie is the actual real name, but what this thing does, it's a stiffener. So it's the same exact shape as this cord of this cell. So it's contoured exactly the same. So it really makes this strong. And so you get a lot of wind force. It really keeps this concave shape, which is amazing. Because if you know, once this thing gets flat, it's easy to fold back. It's real flexible. So as long as you can maintain that shape, you should be able to keep your blade nice and it'll always catch the air like it's supposed to. But usually once something runs into it or hits it, or that for some reason if that cell tie breaks, that's when things start going wrong. These 8-footers that are simple right here, it's when you get to the 10-footer, you start to have to work a little harder at it. I'm gonna be a little tighter, but it'll work. Yep, it'll work. We're almost done with this part, y'all. Again, this is the 8-foot model. It's capable of pretty much 150-foot lift. And that all depends, of course, on the size of the pump and all that. But that's why it's a pretty popular windmill, because it'll go up to 150 feet. And a lot of places that's plenty. You know, the static water levels. You know, I feel fine pumping one of these if the static water levels, you know, 100 feet and shallower. I love pumping at that depth, or shallower even better. But what you end up having is you'll really see days where the windmill's not making much water because it is just setting still, because it don't have enough power. If you're over, you know, say 140 or so feet, it really struggles. Those are the days you short stroke it. So anyway, so right now is how this is gonna go. Get in there, you dirty dog. Get in there, you dirty dog. So cut. Get in there. Get in there. Go and get it. Got a little bit of galvanizing built in there on this end. Yep. So get a little galvanizing right there. It'll shut you down. It ain't nothing for a file. There it is. A little chunk like that will slow you down real good. So, this. Actually, it's got to go the other way. Yep. I had it right the first time. I flipped it when I was filing it. It's got to go through this way. I'll show you what we're going to end up with. These two holes will line up just like that. For the next one, I'm going to go through the same way. That one's going to be our hard one, I think. I'm going to fit him to the left. I like to save the hard parts for last. And scoot on. I'm gonna go ahead and put a couple bolts to hold these things. These are just your quarter 20 bolts. They have use a 7/16 wrench on them. But this is how they're gonna go. Like that. Whoop, come here, nut. Okay, get one more slid on him. Put it in there the right way. Shank. In there. Oh, yeah. Oh, there we go. We're doing it now. Oh, I love that sound. Get. Get. Okay. I'll flip this over. Short one. So this is our inner. You'll see how these two holes are close to each other, and then these two holes over here are far apart. You want to match what's on the outer. So these two are far apart, and these are close. So we're gonna have to flip this way, and it's gonna mount it just like that. So, put that on the L, put a nut on it. This is really difficult the first time you ever do it. It really is. But as with anything, you do it a couple times, you'll get it. Super simple. That's it right there. Once it's tightened down, that's one of our sections of our windmill. So there it is. There's a whole thing. answer to every off-grid water requirement? No. But not anything is. Solar's not. Windmills aren't. But they each have their place. And I mean, these things will outlast all of us. If you're watching this, this thing will probably be in the air pumping water when we're dead and gone. I have a lot of windmills that I service and I've installed, and it's really neat knowing that you're leaving I'm not going to call it a legacy, that's too deep. You're leaving something behind that 100 years from now, hopefully, if it's been maintained and somebody's taking care of it and they love it, that it'll still be making water. Change the oil once a year, take care of it, make sure everything's tight on it. That's all the windmill asks for. And that's not too much. If you need to have somebody climb it because you're scared of heights, that's fine. This windmill holds 2 quarts of oil. That's about $14 in oil a year. And for the added peace of mind of having a stock tank that's completely full year-round when you need it full, it's amazing. So right here is a amazing thing right here. I appreciate y'all watching. I know this is kind of going to be a long video once I get it cut and pieced together, but and I'll probably fast forward some parts. I'll slow down some parts, but in the end, you'll know how to assemble one of these wheels. If you don't want to do it, call us. Call another windmiller in the country. Call me if you have a question, or you can comment. We're easy to find. I'll get you in touch with somebody that can install you a windmill if we're too far away. But anyway, thank you for watching. If you please don't mind, hit that like button and then subscribe. That's how we're going to grow, by subscribers. It doesn't happen unless you subscribe. We'll stay small where we are if you don't subscribe. And the smaller we stay, the less people will get to see us and get to see what we do. So I appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule to sit and watch this. Hope you have a great evening, and we'll see you tomorrow.